Welcome back to the final part of the Punter, where we delve into the non-league action. And I'm pleased to say that Alan Alger of Blue Square is with me. So we are going to talk Blue Square Prem. We're going to get the value bets when it comes to Blue Square North and South as well. Sticking on the Blue Square Prem. First of all, we've seen Crawley and Fleetwood over the last few years throw plenty of money at it and become short price favourites, well-backed favourites that have won the league. What have we got this time around?
Well, everybody from just on the fringes of the industry that doesn't pay much attention to our non-league, and why not? It's fantastic. But I keep getting asked, where's the Crawley Fleetwood, bet that I can have this year? Because I put a few people onto Crawley at big prices, double-figure prices. They were backed in, obviously, into as short as 5-1 as the first ball was kicked. Same for Fleetwood. Managed to, I think some people managed to get about 10-1. Unfortunately with us, because I wrote off their chances. But this year I'm going to do the same thing again, and I've put Forest Green Rovers at a very big price because they've got money, and they've got the kind of money under their owner Dale Vince that would blow Crawley and Fleetwood combined out of the water. It's only if he actually dips his hand in his pocket, because he's about 500 from the Sunday Times rich list. If he did want to divert some of that money to football, or more of that money to football, Forest Green would be a good bet at 10-1, but I don't think they are.
OK, we'll get your thoughts in just a second. Let's have a look at the market. Butler.
Yeah, I'm in the top of the market. Forest Green there, 10-1 market moves. They were bigger than that because Alan put his millions on. He's 13th in the richest this hour. He's going to move up when Forest Green win this one here. Luton Town have been the team that have always been backed. I mean, I know Alan gets a bit of a stick on Twitter from the Luton fans. They doesn't give them a credit they deserve. But he's saying they've got a good chance this year, but they didn't get off to a good start. They were 2-0 down at home to Gateshead, come back 2-2, some fighting spirit, but their crowd of support was very lucky enough to be at the Blue Square final at Wembley last season, and the support they brought was warranted out of a league form. But it didn't get them through. 11-4 they are there. Mansfield involved in a humdinger at the weekend, 5-1. Wrexham, Flash Gordon Watson, his tip here at 6-1. I go along with Flash here. I think they've got a bit of support. I know Al knows a lot more about them, a local boy there. Grimsby were into championship some years ago, 15-2. Forest Green Rovers there, the Money Boys 10-1, and Cambridge at 14-1. But Luton are the pace setters. All the money anti-posters come for them. But will they do it this season? They've got the crowd to do it, and they showed a little bit of hunger at the weekend.
Where is the value?
Well, it might just be creeping back with Luton Town. Can't agree with Flash at all, but I very rarely do. I was at Wrexham at the weekend. 98 points last season. Fantastic effort. They had a very easy game at the weekend against Woking. They won that 3-1. But I still think that they might struggle. And it's very hard for any side finishing in the top 4 in this division that doesn't go up via being champions or the playoffs. So that's at least 2 teams a season to finish around that gap. They do not perform well the next season.
So come on,
regardless.
Who's the team?
So, well, I've tipped, as Nigel said, I've tipped up Luton everywhere.
Okay.
And I think that this is one season where they'll do it. They've been favourites the last 3 seasons. I don't like tipping favourites, but they've got the right team there. Bit of a blip at the weekend, but you'll see them come good.
Let's hope so, because they've suffered heartbreak, of course, over recent seasons. What about at the bottom? Let's get to the prices. Butler.
Yeah, the bottom of the table is very competitive here. As you can see, there's a lot of teams there. No one can really split them. I think there's a big divide here. Obviously, you talk about the Premier League. There's also a big guide here. The Money Boys are the ones who have and ones who have not. Hyde are the favourites here to finish in the bottom 4, 8-13. Telford 8-11. Dartford 4-5. Nuneaton 5-6. Ebbsfleet evens, and Barrow 6-4. You know what? You don't want to hear me. I have not got a clue. I'll go back to Al. He's the man who knows who's going to finish at the bottom.
Well, a rather silly rumour exists about Hyde, and that is that Manchester City fund them. It's completely ridiculous, because if they wanted to, they'd obviously fund them to the extent where we'd all know about it. What they do, they pay for the upkeep of the ground to make sure that the pitch is in pristine condition, and they have convinced Hyde from playing in red kits and having a red and black branded stadium to go to Sky Blue. So there was a bit of a sellout on behalf of Hyde, but it was the right move for the club at the time. But they're not having thousands and thousands of pounds pumped in by Manchester City. They won the league in the Blue Square Bet North last year through a very, very good squad that played good football on a good pitch under Gary Lowe.
So who do you think might struggle then? Who would you be the teams that
My
might
tips to struggle, Barrow have had lots of difficulties of late. Telford will struggle. I think Nuneaton, they need a good season, but I think Dartford will also go down.
Let's dip down into the North and South leagues when it comes to the Blue Square divisions. North, I think we're going to look at first of all. Butler, how do we price this one?
Yeah, I mean, here we've got, it's a very open field. I think, again, we talk about money. Money's so important in this league. It's incredible. Halifax Town, 3-1 there. Chester at 7-2. Couple of outsiders, Bishop Stortford at 12, Brackley Town at 10s, and Gainsborough Trinity 8-1. But it's about the front two. It's Halifax Town at 3, 7-2 Chester. Back to you, Al.
Well, people will be surprised to see sides like Bishop Stortford and Brackley in the Blue Square Bet North, but the geography has suggested that so many northern teams are really good at going into the Premier and then kicking on, so we're not having the right geographical split from relegation. And because of that, I would say sides like Chester and Halifax are set to maybe progress through the leagues in the next few seasons. Chester have to settle in this division. Halifax had last year where they finished third. That extra season is going to be key to this. I'm tipping them up, another favourite.
What about the southern section? Butler, how do we price this one?
As you can tell from my accent, I'm much more of a northern Blue Square man rather than a southern Blue Square man. But this is the only one I actually have a view on. I really do. I think Eastleigh here at 5-1 are a great bet each way. I think they've got a lot of money, owned by a good guy down there. Real good moves. But a man who knows a lot more than me is Alan over there.
Yeah, well, this is incredible because usually I would try and find an outsider, but I have actually had bets on all three favourites for this division. And bearing in mind that I set the odds for Blue Square, and obviously everyone copies us then after. So I've dictated to where I can actually get my bet on. I should maybe hide it some years, but no, I'm not that unscrupulous, and I've placed a bet on all three favourites, and I think it's Eastleigh, as Nigel says, they're a very good each way bet. They've spent lots of money, but there's been money spent in that Blue Square Bet South before, and it hasn't always worked out. Talking to the likes of Havant and Waterlooville, 19th last year. They were so well backed.